race ahead of the FIA Formula One Singapore Grand Prix. Now, left of screen, we have Lando Norris. In the middle, we have Esteban Ocon. And right of screen, we have George Russell. Very warm welcome to our three musketeers. Lando, let's start with you. After all, Singapore was a happy hunting ground for you last year. How confident are you coming into this weekend?
Confident, because like you said, last year was a very good one here. We were very strong here last year. I had a good race, so always nice. I've always enjoyed it since my first year in 2019. So at the minute, it looks like a little bit worse weather than what we've had over the last few years, but excited. It's one of my favorite tracks of the season, so happy to get going.
How do you see the pecking order at the moment? Because Max Verstappen's won the last two races. Do you think that was track specific to Monza and Baku, or do you think he's genuinely a challenger at every race now?
Genuinely a challenger. I think if you go back to the beginning of the season, you know, they were challenging the first 6-7 races of race wins, challenging us in the drivers, and then we brought some upgrades, improved a little bit. A couple of weeks ago they brought us some upgrades, and it seems like that's kind of put them back on the same level as us. So I think we're still expecting, and you know, we still come into every race with the ambition and with the goal of winning and wanting to dominate as a team and continue the form that we've had all season. But nevertheless, you know, it's a track where Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull certainly over the last few weekends have been closer. So we expect battles, especially with him, yeah.
Can we talk about that season-long form? Just 13 more points this weekend will seal the Constructors' title for McLaren.
Yeah.
When you look back at 2025, what has stood out for you? What's been the magic sauce for McLaren?
I mean, yeah, the drivers. Car's mediocre, but I mean, without making a joke of it, I think you got the two things. You obviously need the best car. I think we've had that for 95% of the races. I think there's been a few here and there, like even Monza is the most recent one where I don't think we were quick enough. Baku, I would say we probably should have been and were fast enough. We just didn't do a very good job. Monza, we weren't quick enough. So you know, there's been a couple of races where we've not had the desert like that, the perfect weekends. But as a constructor, I think is the important thing. As a constructor, we've had two good drivers, and I think there are plenty of other teams with two great drivers, but I kind of hate saying it, but not ones who have delivered every weekend as often as what Oscar or myself have done. But it's also easier for us to deliver because we're also ahead of the field a lot of the time, you know. So in some ways, we have an easier job than some others, but a constructor, you need two drivers who deliver every weekend, who finish most races, and that's what we've been able to do. Maybe not the last couple, but until that point, we've been the best performing duo as drivers, and we've clearly had the best car and been the best team.
Quick word on the Drivers' Championship. You're now within a race win of Oscar. How do you see the challenge ahead with 7 races to go?
I mean, you ask me this question every time, and it's the same answer, so
remind us.
Come up with something new.
Can you just remind us?
Just play the clip from last time, I guess.
All right, we will do that. All right, Lando, thanks for that. Esteban, let's come to you. It's been a while since we've seen you in the press conference. Can we just start?
You don't invite me anymore.
Can we just start with your thoughts on the progress with the car since the summer break?
I think since the summer break, obviously we had very good Zandvoort as a team. The quality was definitely not great, but we were able to have very good car pace through the race and come back in very decent positions. After that, I think the tracks were quite difficult for us. There were some areas of the track where we were lacking quite a lot of pace in Baku and Monza. But yeah, I hope that here we will have more performance out of this car. It's a track that I really enjoy, especially since they removed that last sector that I didn't really like too much. I've learned to like this track more and more, to feel more comfortable with it through the years, and it's a track that I now really like coming, and there's a lot of support around here also, so it's quite special.
And Haas seemed to like it. Hulkenberg had a very strong weekend here last year, the short 90-degree corners. Do you think it'll suit this car?
I hope so. Usually where we lose quite a lot of performance. It's in the straight lines. There are not many of that around here. We are pretty good in terms of like traction, getting out of corners, and low speed performance is also pretty decent. So, again, it's going to be very close out there. It's looking like it will be quite tough with the weather. So we need to see which sessions are going to be dry and if the important ones are going to be, dry as well. But, it's up there to take the opportunity, and I hope that we can take a good one.
The final one from me, a bit left field, but can we go to last week, to Mugello? Haas had a family day there. We saw Romain Grosjean back in a Formula One car for the first time since his accident. Just, you were there. Give us your thoughts on the day, your memories.
It was awesome. And we had most of our employees, that were there. Also, it was a big Haas family day. Everyone was there to witness Romain driving an F1 car 5 years after, his accident in Bahrain. And, it was a day full of happiness and emotions, really. And I'm glad, to have been there to witness it all. Romain didn't lose anything. He was straight away on pace. He knew, everything on the steering wheel and everything. Obviously, it's only been 5 years, but definitely a great day. And this team is very special in that sense that there are emotions. Obviously we are a small team, but it's really a big family. And even though it was 5 years ago, the team didn't forget, that Romain was there from the start, and that's quite special.
All right. Thank you very much for that. George, let's come to you now. Start with the usual. Have you got a contract for next year yet?
Surprise. No updates to give you, so I told you'd be the first to know when there's something to report.
How long have we got to wait?
No, I think for any driver, when you get to a certain point in your career, things have to be done right, and I think every time you renew a contract is the most important one of your life, and it has to be done with good care. And there's nothing to worry about, and it'll get done when it will get done.
Are you a tough negotiator?
How many of these questions do you keep on going? No, I don't think so. I think it's just about just something that is fair, mutually beneficial. I think that's what we all chase. It's obviously different for certain drivers who may have a bit more power, may have a bit less power. But yeah, as I said, no more updates, nothing to report, and I'll be glad to tell you all once there is.
I'll leave it there. And the good news is you're sounding a lot better than when you were in the post-race press conference in Baku. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, feeling better, to be honest. Baku was a tough one, just in terms of how I was feeling. Not 100% right now, like I've improved substantially, but if I think it was any other race, I wouldn't have a single shred of concern. But of course, Singapore being Singapore and the obvious challenges here, I'm sure it will be fine, but Sunday won't be a breeze.
Well, and a heat hazard has been declared for the first time ever this weekend. Can you just tell us what that means for the drivers?
Yeah, we've used the driver cooling vest a few times already this season at the hot races, but obviously this is the first time where it's become mandatory, which I think is good news. Not everybody finds the top comfortable, but I think some find it more comfortable than others, and of course over time you'll be able to sort of adjust it to your own preferences. But the concept, I think, is good. And when you're racing in 90% humidity and the cockpits are getting on for 60 degrees, it's a bit of a sauna inside the car. So I think we all welcome it.
And from a performance point of view, you were fourth last year. What are your hopes?
Yeah, I think the last 2 years we've been reasonably good. Ferrari are often very strong here. They were on pole 2 years ago, and last year they were looking really strong until Q3, which sort of ruined their weekend. And of course, we know McLaren at the hot races, high tire degradation circuits are exceptionally strong. So I expect McLaren and Ferrari to be the two teams out in front.
Okay, George, thank you very much for that. Let's now open this to the floor. We will start with the broadcasters. Who's first, please? Yeah.
Tom Slafer, DAZN Spain. Question for George. Regarding the cooling vest that you were mentioning, I've heard some drivers said that it's uncomfortable while driving. I think you used it on Bahrain this season at least. How is it uncomfortable? Is it because of the moves, or is it just having an extra layer?
I mean, I can't talk for the other drivers. I think it's just where the tubes on your back connect to the tubes on your front, and they have to go around your ribs. And when you go through high-speed corners and the G-force, you're feeling these tubes on the side of your ribs. So I think that was definitely an issue for me at the beginning. They made some changes. It has been improved, but as I said, still you have these tubes going around your ribs, which is not the perfect place for it. There's not many high-speed corners here in Singapore and high lateral G-forces, so I don't think it would be a major issue.
Okay, thank you for that. Next, yep.
Hi, Vicky Pirias, Sky Sports Italy. For all three drivers, if possible, if they could give me a percentage number of chance for Max Verstappen to win the title.
Lando, let's start with you, Lando.
I mean, there's a chance. So more than 0. I don't know. It's probably like actual stats. So I don't know. Yeah, there's a chance.
Esteban.
I mean, we all know Max and how dangerous he is when there's something to grab. So yeah, there's a good chance, that if he's got a competitive car until the end of the year, he can catch back. Yeah.
George, are you going to give us a number?
100%.
Good friend.
All right. Look, any more from the broadcasters, please? Yep.
Hello, Laurent Dupin from Canal+. Esteban already talked about it, but your point of view, George and Lando, about Romain Grosjean driving back an F1 car 5 years later, because you were there on the day of his accident?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for us who were sort of in the race and witnessing it, I still sort of remember it to this moment, seeing the flames in my rear view mirror, extremely sort of horrific to see. And I don't think anybody wants to end their career in that way. So to see him get a chance to go back out, he's obviously always been in great spirits ever since the incident. And of course, he was in, I can't remember if it was Abu Dhabi or Bahrain, the following race, but he was there on the sidelines from the following race. His spirits have never dropped. So yeah, nice for him and nice of Haas to give him the opportunity.
Yeah, good for him. I thought he was doing a test in the Mercedes. No, was he not?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, but I guess nice for him and the team. I guess it's they probably didn't want it to end the way it did in some ways, or for those kind of things to happen. But he's been racing, since. But for him to kind of get back into a Formula One car, his dream, and kind of get back probably some good memories that he had was a nice thing for him. So nice to see it.